Dr. Fisiahi, I heard a commentator say, you know, that the younger, poorer, browner tend not to vote. Do we just not vote because we're poorer?
No. No, it's a matter of, like what Alfred just said earlier on, understanding the process. And it's all up to us parents and other community groups, the churches, to educate our young brown youth, you know, and young ones to understand the importance of engaging in community, you know, in the Super City things, or any other community, you know, get together. It's a matter for us to make sure that we tell them or to teach them how to on the importance of the issues. Take for example since I came to New Zealand, I've been hearing campaigning against a crime in South Auckland, and that's time from time you can hear campaigning stop, stop, stop. But the rate of crime started to you know, to increase over time, despite the so many efforts campaigning to stop or just completely stop crime in South Auckland. The church have done their part, and I guess families also done their part on educating our young ones. There are a few others that does not help us. What they are doing is encouraging people, our young people, to commit crimes. Similar things are happening here. We have to speak out in whichever area that we are in. Like for us in the academia, we've got a role educating our students here to understand or to go and vote, or to participate or to engage in such thing as the voting for the Super City. And I don't think that we are singled out as not committing ourselves or not engaging in voting because we are poor now. I don't see the logic of or the importance of having to say this, to qualify that statement. I also like to clarify to add on to the point that Alfred and my sister here from the APC was said before, with regard to the mindset of our own people, of our Pacific people, in terms of rallying behind candidates. That's very true. The Pacific people only rally behind good candidates, candidates that they know that they will represent them prudently, that they will always come back to them, because there are candidates from the past that I heard from people that they were very vocal when they were campaigning, but very quiet during their term. So Pacific people want to rally behind people who are very vocal, as from the first day of their campaign and all the way through their term in office. So that's a very true statement that I really support that. And I've heard a lot of people saying moving from one party to the other because they want, because of that particular person who's running for that particular party.
Just a reminder to our audience that we will take questions. Oh, there we go. And I've got one coming back. We've got a roving mic, so go for it.
I just wanted to start off with a statement. One of my favourite ads is actually the one with the Otara market and about stopping limiting pokies, and I think that it links to what Leela was also saying about values, and I think there'll be a lot of the shared values across Auckland, and that's the opportunity for Pacific is that there will be non-Pacific who will share the same values, boobs on bikes and all that type of thing. It's probably a shared thing. I suppose the question I've got, and there are two questions, they're both divergent, is one is about economic development of Pacific businesses. That's the big part of the debate. And the other one's, I suppose it looks, well, they're saying Len Brown's going to win, but John Banks doesn't seem to have a lot of respect for South Auckland. Is this an issue, or what's the perspective of the guests on those two issues?
Can I take the economic development question first? Does anyone want to? Otherwise, I'll go back to our... Louis.
I think there's a whole lot of stuff going to happen in the super city that hasn't happened before. One of them is a spatial plan, which New Zealand's never experienced before. And sitting in there is supposedly work to be done on social, cultural, economic, environmental. I think that's sort of the list in general. And my fear is that the economic and infrastructure issues are going to dominate, but perhaps dominate in a way which is around what can we build, roads, rail, bridges, buildings. But if you're going to have economic development in Auckland and everybody says it's going to rely on Pacific and Māori people in the workforce, will that spatial plan deal with literacy and numeracy, skills development, the lack of Pacific people in trades and so on? And if our voice isn't heard, we'll have a spatial plan that will concentrate on building things and we'll still be the labourers building them instead of upskilling a workforce that Auckland's going to have to rely on. So I think economic development is a big underlying issue in the new super city, and it's got to reflect the fact that at the moment Pacific people are underrepresented in the higher earning occupations, in the higher skilled occupations, but we're it in 20, 30 years' time. We are the workforce that Auckland's going to have to drive its economy on. What are we going to do about educating and upskilling? And I think that's a heck of a lot more important than worrying about the personalities at this stage and the politics, because after Saturday that all goes into the dustbin, and it's whoever's got the job that's going to have to drive the economic future, and those people have to be people that we can access as a Pacific community to ensure that things happen that drive us up into better earning jobs and out of the unemployment queues where too many of our young ones are at the moment.
Dr.
My main concern here is the Manuka Council is engaged in a number of projects with regard to upgrading of business skills and upgrading of workforce in terms of what we have just said in terms of literacy and numeracy. The big challenge here is whether the super city setting would continue to run those projects or to engage in such projects in terms of training of to benefit our Pacific workforce and even our ones who want to new entrepreneurs who want to embark on new business undertakings. I'm aware that the Manukau City Council is in partnership with the Pacific Business Trust on doing running courses on level 1, 2, and 3, and I'm very much doubt on whether the big super city setting would continue to do that to our Pacific people in terms of upgrading of skills and business new entrepreneurs.